Hey, this is Brian Shutt with HomeSense Heating and Cooling. We are back on Facebook Live again. I'm sure you're excited. Here with Matt Patrick, our comfort consultant and indoor air health specialist, among other things. A couple weeks ago, we talked about the issues related to humidification, what you can do about that. We've got a new product to talk about that just came through that we've been getting a lot of conversations about with our clients, and Matt's been the one that's dived deep into it and been using it. So wanted to dig in a little bit on Facebook today. So yeah, Matt, just jump on in and tell us what we're working with.
So it is a product, but it's actually a tool that
Okay.
we use in our customers' houses to determine issues with their indoor air that you can't see. You can smell them, you can feel them because they make you nauseous or give you headaches, things like that.
Yeah.
But it is it's called a Air Advised Indoor Air Quality Analyzer.
Okay.
How this works is we put it on in a centrally located room in your house. We plug it in and let this thing run and sample the air in your house for 30 minutes.
Okay.
After 30 minutes, it will email me a report which looks like this.
Yeah.
It will detail, there's 6 different topics that this thing is testing for. The first one is the volume of particulates in the air. That would be like pet dander, any of your like
Dust.
yeah,
allergens.
dust, exactly, precisely.
Okay.
Chemicals is another one that it tests
Okay.
for. Chemicals, you kind of think about like household chemicals. Well, it goes a step further than that, Brian. It tests for VOC compounds, and what VOCs are volatile organic compounds, and those are typically found in new carpet, even older carpet, but the smell and the off-put of the chemical is not strong. Freshly painted rooms, that's why when you walk into a new house, it has that new house smell. Well, those are actually VOC gases in your house. So it will detect those and rate them based on where an acceptable amount is. The other one is carbon dioxide.
Okay.
Carbon dioxide is the gas that put off when you exhale.
Okay.
Commonly found if levels are too high, it means your house is too tight, meaning there's not enough air from the outside coming
Yeah,
in.
we talked about that when we were talking about humidification. Just newer homes being built more energy efficient, but having the downside that there's not as much outdoor air getting into the home. So the same issues that might be related to humidification challenges, is fair to say that it's similar to some of the issues that you guys might see when doing a test?
A stuffy house, typically found in between months here in Indiana, such as the end of March, beginning of April, right before it's hot outside where it's mild. You're not using your furnace or your air conditioner, so the blower's not running. So it's just kind of stagnant air.
Okay.
That would be a lot to do with the carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
So, the next thing it tests for is the temperature inside the home. Let you know where you have it set down on your thermostat. We actually can compare those to see how accurate your current thermostat is. And we'll tell you the benefits of setting it at that temperature if you need to raise or lower it, depending on the quality of the indoor air.
Okay.
So, relative humidity is another one that we get a lot of interest in, especially in the wintertime as well as summer. But will show us how dry your house is, especially right now. If you do need a humidifier, this system will actually recommend a humidifier to you and tell you the benefits of going with a few different options that we kind of covered in our last video.
Okay.
And the last one is the big one in the wintertime, carbon monoxide.
Okay.
This is what you see on the news all the time about furnaces off-putting carbon monoxide. There's a lot of false truths to carbon monoxide. We won't get into those right now, but this will test to see if you have any carbon monoxide. We also look for carbon monoxide detectors in the home, which everybody should have when we perform this test.
Okay. Well, we didn't want to take too long, but we wanted to dive a little bit into this. As this is a new tool for us, we're going to be offering it at no charge. So you can call us up and Matt would come out to do the 30-minute test, give you those 6 key points of data, and then if there is any issues there that you want to dig deeper into, He could talk about sort of how to solve some of those problems. Again, this is, for us, this is a desire to dig a little bit deeper to help our clients and non-clients that are concerned with more than just hot and cold air. As more and more reports come out about indoor air pollution, this is something we just felt like we needed to invest in. So we're going to continue this conversation in the coming weeks and months about indoor air health. But please feel free to reach out to us at 670-0171 if you have any questions for Matt about this air quality test.
And
anything else to add?
I would like to add, so I just did one yesterday to kind of prove that this is a free offering, a free test.
Yeah.
And we had a report that came back, and it just ended up being seasonal allergies.
Okay.
Because when the report came across, I was going over with the client, it showed that there was no problems whatsoever
Okay.
in the house.
Yeah.
So virtually just shared with them that they replace their filter when they're supposed to, that it's, you know, just seasonal allergies, just continue taking, you know, Allegra or whatever your allergy medication is. And, you know, and we went about our way.
Yeah.
So it's just a purely information session, and don't feel like you're going to be pressured in.
Well, and that's the thing, like, it's a peace of mind tool as much as anything else with the issues that are out there, knowing whether or not, and without testing, it's like, hey, you know, family history of X, go get a blood test, see how so this is that air test for your home if you have any concerns, or if that's something that you've read about and just want to verify that your home is indeed healthy. So feel free to shoot us some questions, and we'll take some time to answer those later. But in the meantime, thanks for a brief amount of time, and we'll be back up here in a week or so. Thanks.